You have finally made it to what almost all of Act 2 has been leading to, the fight with Ketheric Thorm. And you might be in for some surprises.
Why doesn't that surprise me?
Lucky for you, in this video I'll be sharing some of my tips for fighting Ketheric. Be sure to check out the timestamps if you are looking for part 1 or part 2 of this fight, or the Myrkul part of this fight. I will also make a disclaimer and say that all of my fights included Dame Aylin as help. Let's get into it. When you start out this fight with Ketheric, you will be on the rooftop. There will be a number of necromites, a warhound, a spellcaster, and Ketheric. In my experience, Aylin barely touched Ketheric and instead focused on the necromites. Weird priorities, but okay. If I had to do this fight again, I would probably focus on the necromites first so that Aylin would actually go for Ketheric. At the beginning of this fight, the necromites are positioned in a great way to be pushed off the roof. So I recommend using things like Thunderwave or Eldritch Blast if you have the repelling aspect of it to get them off the roof. It saves you the trouble of fighting them and they can't cast their spells against you. Speaking of necromites, they love to use the Reach from Beyond spell, which can do a little bit of damage or a good bit of damage. I don't recommend counterspelling every single one of these since they do it a lot, and there is also another spellcaster that you should probably focus on. Ketheric will summon these skeletal bombs that will spawn another necromite, so if you can, also get those out of the way as soon as possible. Any kind of radiant damage is great here because you are mainly dealing with the undead, and that usually means you'll do double damage if you have radiant damage. Ketheric hits hard, so try to keep your squishy people out of the way and let someone else take the hit. Once Ketheric's health goes below a certain point, you will have a cutscene and he will flee. Any enemies you haven't killed will still need to be killed after the cutscene. After that's done, you will give chase, following Ketheric into the Mind Flayer colony. I have left the rest of this fight's footage here if anyone is interested, or you can feel free and skip ahead to part 2 of this fight.
Well, so much for peace.
On I go.
Focus your attack, soldiers!
Need to learn the hard way. Can't even catch my breath.
I'm ready.
Survival is all that matters.
Let's cook with fire, baby.
Another fight. Let's go.
Fire forever, pal.
The victor's path.
Got to move.
Focus your attack, soldiers!
Want another?
Sometimes the only way out is through. I'll strike you down.
No holding back.
vessel. How can such a thing be possible?
Blood comes easy these days.
Battle favors the fearless.
Before you start part 2 of the fight with Ketheric, I highly recommend using the restoration pod in the Mind Flayer colony. It's like taking a long rest without actually doing it. There is also no limits, so use it as frequently as you can while in the colony. I have left the coordinates of the pod up on the screen now. Step 1 to this fight, free Night Song if that is applicable in your case. I used all my movement, Misty Step, and Dash to her so that when my next turn came around I could immediately help her. If you don't free her, you won't be able to hurt or kill Ketheric since he will be invulnerable while Night Song is held. I summoned an Earth Elemental up with Ketheric who ended up taking a lot of damage, which helped the damage stay off my party, so I definitely recommend casting that at the beginning of the fight. This time, Aelin did go for Ketheric, which gave me a moment to focus on an enemy that I think is worse than Ketheric. The Singular Mind Flayer. They are not super buff or hard to hit, but they have the ability to stun multiple members of your party if they play it right. It sucks to have your heavy hitter sitting out full rounds, so definitely take the Mind Flayer out fast. You've also got a handful of Necromites, but they are grouped together, so if you have something like Fireball, you might be able to get a couple of them out. They will still do the Reach from Beyond spell, so think carefully about how you're counterspelling things. Ketheric will do the same skeletal bomb thing as before, so also take those out as quickly as you can. You also have the Intellect Devourers who like to gang up, which is dangerous for one character. Generally, they are not as hard to beat as they were in the beginning of the game. Once everything else is pretty much taken care of, then I say help out with Ketheric. This will be drastically different for you if you don't have Aelin. If you do have her, you might have to throw a couple healing spells to keep her up, but in my experience, she didn't immediately die when she fell. Once you have beaten him down, you will have another cutscene and another surprise. I have left the rest of this fight's footage here if anyone is interested. Feel free to skip ahead to the final part of this fight.
Have you not learned? I am beyond death, fool! Focus your attack, soldiers!
Moving.
Swift as my feet can carry me.
Forever dauntless. Two steps at a time.
In your cage!
Need to find a way forward.
Focus your attack, soldiers!
Give me up, quick!
Got to keep fighting.
These boots have seen everything.
No holding back.
Now this is my happy place.
to move.
May the gods take you first.
This is my time. Making my move.
My turn.
Can't afford to let up. This will help with the pain. Take your
Lastly, when you think you are all done with it, an Apostate of Myrkul shows up with over 200 hit points, as well as any of the other enemies you didn't take out. The Apostate has some powerful swiping attacks, but he cannot move from his area. This made it where my spellcasters could get in range for a spell, then climb down without getting opportunity attacks. I lobbed so many fireballs at this enemy as well as other area of effect spells, so I definitely recommend having that in your arsenal for this fight. The skeletal bombs will make another appearance, but this time when the Necromite is born, Myrkul can consume them to gain health back. So that's even more of a reason to take them out quickly. The big thing in this fight is you just need to do area of effect damage and constant damage to the Apostate of Myrkul, and you should be able to defeat him and reap your rewards. I hope these tips have been helpful, and I've left the rest of this fight's footage to close out the video. If you have more advice or tips on how you did it, please leave it down below for others and myself to read. As always, thanks for watching and good luck on your adventures.
Poor fucker.
Now you wear a face to match your soul. Talk to me. Take you. On I go.
Say bye-bye.
One life to my life. Sustain.
Need to stay focused. Got to press on. Take your
Death won't take me yet.